Hello there, welcome to AFT. If this is your first time here, welcome to the channel. My name is Asheza, I'm your host. But if this is not, welcome back, my dolls. So, dolls, today's topic, oh my god, it's more like I'm not really teaching anything. I just want to kind of like girly chat with you guys today. And excuse, I'm outside, so if you hear like the horns, pardon me, I'm outside. But today I want to talk about it's not new, well, this Netflix series, Two Broke Girls. They just actually brought it, I don't know, the Netflix in Nigeria, so I'm watching it now. And I love it. I love it so far. I'm in season 3 right now, and it's just so fun. But there's something I realized this on the first episode, and I was like, oh my god, I need to talk to my dolls about this. So, if you haven't watched it, there's gonna be like spoiler alert, so pardon me. But it's about the two main characters, right? Max and Caroline. Max is a waitress who really didn't come from anything. I think she doesn't even know who her father is, and her mom, I'm not really sure about the gist of her mom, but I feel like her mom just doesn't care about her, so she kind of has to fend for herself and take care of herself basically, while the other person, who is Caroline, came from a really wealthy family, but unfortunately for her, her dad was caught in a fraud, so he's in jail right now. And she has no one, so she can't really remember how they met. I know that Caroline went into the diner that Max works in. She kind of told her story, how she's looking for a job and she's like homeless and everything, so Max took her in, right? So now these are two different people from two different backgrounds literally surviving the world. And it's so interesting to see, because you see Max, the girl who came from not so good background, how she looks at life, her perspective on life. It's so, you can see she has a lot of self-doubt. She literally doesn't believe anything good can come to her. She's like also very satisfied with where she is. Like, she doesn't really think of growth or evolution or how to better herself. Like, she's just like really cool and cavalier about her life, and like, it's like, yeah, whatever, after this, I'll just go hang out with my friend. Like, you get like, she's just like cavalier about life itself. While Caroline is like, she came from a place of wealth. She wants to make money. She also has the goal of getting money and getting out of that, having a better life for herself. And how they both go about it, it's just it's really eye-opening, because it just makes me think, like, how many of us see life in that way? Like, nothing good ever happens to me, like, woe is me, always having that victim mindset, which Max really has. Everyone is out to get me, no one loves me, like, be protective, everyone's bad. How many of us, how many times do we see that in life, and how is that also hindering our own progress in life, our evolution? Because I'm a big fan of evolving. I always believe that it's important to grow and evolve, and just like seeing how, like, so they started this whole cupcake. So Max makes cupcakes, right? So Caroline, of course, with her mindset, was like, this cupcakes taste really good, like, let's start a business. And of course Max was like, no, we can't start a business. And Caroline's like, no, let's do it. Like, I'll be the business person, you can be the talent. So that's literally what it is. But you can really see how Caroline goes after her goals. She's meeting people, telling them about the cupcake, even how she like says a story, like embellishes the whole cupcake. It's like, oh yeah, no, like, like, we have a portfolio, we've been doing this, like really branding themselves really well, because she has that knowledge. She knows how that is. She knows the importance of branding, so you can see she's doing all that, while Max is just there like, woe is me, this might not work out, let's not even try, and like I said, it just made me think, and I wanted to just touch on this with you, dolls. Like, what do you guys think of the show if you're watching it? Do you also see how Caroline goes after what she wants, how positive her mindset is, and because of how she thinks, the kind of things she attracts, and also because of how Max thinks the kind of things she also attracts. Because you can see in the series where like Caroline can be walking, I'm like, oh, I just found $100 on the sidewalk, or oh, I just found 200, dollars on in my pocket. While in the same scene, Max is like saying how there's no money and she's broke, and like, oh, how's she gonna pay her rent this time or something. While Max is here complaining about money, Caroline is here finding money on the sidewalk. Like, who do you want to be? So this just made me like, I was like, let me come here and just tell my dolls, remind my dolls, this is a reminder that if you're looking at life right now in a really woe is me state, in a victim mindset, it's time. It's 2026, okay? So it's time to stop that and start changing your perspective on things. Start saying your affirmations. Start, believing that everything good comes to you easily. Like, affirmations are so, so important. And also, another thing I realize is, like Max, she probably, not probably, she says it, she grew up in a home where she had no dad. Her mom didn't treat her well, so she doesn't really have that confidence, that confidence to really go after her goal. And her identity is really, it's not strong enough. And Caroline, of course, her father praised her. She went to good schools and she did well and she had friends, so she has that really strong identity on who she is and what she wants. And yes, I can go after my goal. Yes, this is possible for me. Like, that kind of attitude towards life that you need to actually, if you want to be someone in life, that you really need to get. Or you can stay in the Max mindset and be like, oh, woe is me, victim mindset, my dad left me. So, so I really just want us to, like, you can watch the series if you have, and if you haven't, watch it again if you haven't watched it, and just really take note and see how Caroline thinks and see how Max thinks, and reflect that back onto you and be like, where am I doing this in my life? Because that's what I did. I was like, where in my life am I thinking that X and X is really hard for me, because that hasn't really been programmed in my identity yet. So I think it's hard. And also, whilst you're doing that, also, where in your life are you saying this is easy for you because of X and X, And when you realize that, wait, I made this really easy for me because growing up, this was easy. People praise me for this, but this, I made this hard for myself because maybe I failed one time or 3 times and someone said, you suck at this, and I just took that and I was like, yeah, I suck at this, and how can I change that belief, that limiting belief I have, to grow and be better? This whole thing just goes back to your beliefs and your perspective and your mindset and how you see yourself, how you see the world. And because how you see yourself is how you see the world, remember that. And that also goes to how the world responds to you. So if you see yourself as, oh, no one cares about me, I'm hated, I don't have money, that's exactly what the world's going to give you. But if you're like, oh, everyone loves me, I have money, I'm rich, whatever, that's how the world's also going to respond to you. So be very much intentional in your identity, how you see yourself, and, yeah, your identity. Literally, I think that's just what I came here to say. Just really be intentional in how you see yourself, because how you see yourself is how the world responds to you. So my loves, I really hope you enjoyed this one. This wasn't like a real video. This was like just so impromptu. I was just watching this and I was like, I need to tell my girls about this, of course. So let me know in the comment section if you've watched it, and if you're gonna watch it, let me know too. And like I always say, do not forget to have a feminine touch in everything you do. I'll see you in the next one.